Cabrera, who gets set to lead it off. Cabrera hitting at 236, couple of homers. He's driven in 16. Takes first pitch strike, says Phil Cousy behind the plate. And that's off the plate. 1-1. Oakland comes in at 19-29. They're hitting at 241 as a club with a 4.53 ERA.
Last year, Orlando Cabrera was a very good player for the Sox the second half.
Well, he's been a winner. He had 281 for us last year, 8 homers, knocked in 57, a lot of big runs. He did his job.
He did indeed.
Outfield just about straight away for him as that's popped up right side. Nick's being called off by Dwayne Wise, so D. Wise makes the catch, and that is out number 1.
That's what you like to see, because as the infielder's drifting back, you never really know how the wind is going to affect it, and it's an easier play for the man coming in. So with Dwayne Wise, the captain of the outfield, as a center fielder usually is, he lets Jason Nix know that he's going to take it, and Jason peels away, and it's an easy play after that.
And here's Adam Kennedy. Last year with the Cardinals, he hit 280. Couple of homers, knocked in 36. Takes strike 1. 33-year-old veteran off to a big start with the A's. There are his numbers. 390, 4 homers and 15 knocked in.
He had an interesting climb back to the major leagues. He was in Tampa Bay's minor leagues, and when Ellis went down, Oakland needed him. And so there was no need at Tampa Bay for him at that point because Iwamura hadn't gone down yet. So they gave him to Oakland essentially.
That ball out of play. I've always liked Adam Kennedy. I never thought he achieved what I thought he was going to when I first saw him.
I think one of the big reasons, Hawk, is that he's not a normal home run hitter, and yet he got to be very pull conscious, and that hurt him.
Well, he's got a different swing. Is that look at the pick between the legs. Javi Bullen, go ahead.
Well, I'm not sure how many times you can do that, but it really looks good when you do it once.
Just start calling him Nikolai.
He just reaches down. This is a slow curveball and decides that, well, let's see. I'll cover up the 5-hole and maybe the ball will find a glove, and that's exactly what happened.
That'll bring up Jack Cust, hitting at 252, 7 homers, 26 knocked in. But I always thought that Kennedy was going to be, with his type swing, it's tough to hit the ball all over the ballpark. He's got that uppercut swing as Cust. But he's off to a big start. Maybe he found it at the tender age of 33.
Could very well be, and I know that he didn't get to play quite as much as he wanted with the Cardinals. Now this is where you have to be careful, because Jack Cust has as much power probably as anybody in this league. And he sits on pitches at 203-1, and he can hit it a mile.
Last year he had 33 homers, drove in 77 while hitting 231 for the A's. But indeed he is dangerous, as is the guy on deck and the guy in the hole.
Cust has actually played a decent outfield for them, and that's surprising because when he came over to the American League, he had DH written all over him.
Takes it right there. So with 2 out, nobody on, they give him the take sign.
Can't figure that out, especially with a guy swings like he can. But that's good.
I like it from our standpoint.
Yeah. Then he swings at one completely out of the zone. Now you can strike him out with the high fastball, but not margin for error. But a curveball or straight change usually gets Jack Cust.
Last year, 197 strikeouts. And they had to shift on, and
that's a play that should have been made,
yes,
but wasn't. And I'm not sure if Alexi thought that Jason Nix was going to take it, but he clearly gave way. So Cust winds up with a base hit.
Well, that's Alexi's play all the way.
Yeah, and the ball just went under his glove. I mean, he never got down for it.
So that is a gift base hit right there for Cust. And that'll give Holiday a chance with a man aboard and catching Floyd from the stretch. As that pitch down low. Holiday hitting at 276 homers. He's driven in 28. Last year with the Rockies hit 321, 25 homers and knocked in 88. It is 2-0. Oakland. So that mistake right there very quickly puts the A's on the board. That mistake by Alexei.
That's a 7th home run. He's now driven in 30. And our Ford home run replay shows you, I think, what was supposed to be a sinker inside, but it didn't quite get there. And Matt Holliday shows you just how strong he is. He hit that ball a mile.
Here's Jason Giambi hitting at 220. Jason with 6 homers, 23 knocked in last year. The Yankees hit 247, 32 homers and knocked in 96.
Most of the American League pitchers have been throwing Giambi in under his hands, and he hasn't been able to handle it.
Pulls the string on him right there. 38-year-old veteran who owns 402 home runs. They have the shift on for him.
Right now, Gavin is not particularly loose because that fastball was 91.
And the count 3-1. And here at beautiful U.S. Cellular Field, 330 down the left field line, 335 down the right field line. 375 in the gaps and 400 straightaway center. So what should have been a 1-2-3 inning turns into an extended inning for Gavin Floyd.
And AJ goes out there to talk with Gavin Floyd to get his concentration back. Yes, it was a mistake, and yes, it should have been handled, but wasn't. But now you got to get this hitter out and get out of the inning, limit the damage. It's 21 pitches so far. It's more than he should have made, but 2 runs should not beat you against this pitcher or this team.
He's been trying. He just couldn't get there. Been trying to get him out. As Kurt Suzuki, hitting at 285, a couple of homers, 17 knocked in.
Suzuki tried to bunt because he's got terrific speed, and he took a look at Fields and saw him back at third.
This guy's a good player. Kurt Suzuki is a good player. He's a good catcher. He's a smart hitter. He has hurt us with some big base hits coming at the wrong time since he has been in that Oakland uniform. There's the strike and the count 0-2. That's why plays like Alexei made right there, or errors or whatever, that's why they're just so magnified, much more so now than they were 20, 30 years ago. Because 20, 30 years ago you didn't have the pitch count. Not to the degree that it's taken today as he strikes him out. But the mistake and then the 2-run homer by Holiday after half inning of play. It's the A's 2 and the good guys coming to bat.
Dye, Jim Thome the DH, Paul Konerko, A.J. Pierzynski having a red-hot time of it. Josh Fields, Dwayne Wise, 8th, playing center field, and Jason Nix playing second base, hitting 9th. The Lowe's defensive setup behind Cahill, Holliday, Sweeney, and Cunningham left to right, with Hanahan, Cabrera, Kennedy, and Giambi. Kurt Suzuki behind the plate, and Trevor Cahill on the hill. He's 2-5 this year. He's a sinker baller and a very young man. You can see left-handers have killed him. And hopefully tonight that will remain the same. And the umpires: Phil Cuzzy behind the plate, Tom Hallion at first, Jerry Crawford at second, and Dan Bellino at third.
And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours as Scotty Pods takes first pitch, strike from the 21-year-old right-hander out of Oceanside, California.
He really lives and dies with that sinker, and he's got a good one.
Well, if you're 21 years old and you could have one pitch that you could wish for, whether it be give you the list: a 95-mile-an-hour fastball, a power curveball, a power slider, or a power sinker, which one are you going to take?
Well, the power sinker, of course, or that pitch from It Happens Every Spring that was allergic to wood.
Yeah, that would be the perfect
That'd be
world.
the ultimate one. But the power sinker obviously holds you in good stead in whatever park you play in.
That's the Huey Lewis perfect world right there. There's ball 4.
Well, Scott has been leading things off for us and doing a terrific job of it. And as Hawk mentioned many times, he's really been the catalyst for this offense. And it seems with his emergence as our one hitter, the offense has started to really pick it up.
It's changed the whole face, the whole culture of that offense.
I think there's a lot more confidence, and I think unlike maybe earlier in the season when this team fell behind, they felt they were in trouble. Now falling behind, I don't think means that much to them.
That's outside. So Suzuki now going to go out and have a little chit chat.
Well, he knows he's got a real young man on the mound. 6'3", 195. Second round pick in 2006. That was actually the top pick that year by Oakland. Had some real good minor league numbers. And his ERA never was over 2 in any of the full seasons he pitched.
And we'll watch how Jason Giambi sits up. You see what he's doing right there. He's sitting up off the bag, and his right foot is covering part of that bag. There's the strike. And the count 2-1. All he's got to do with that setup, if Pod's going to come back in head first, is just go down to the knee. And at that point, it'd be hard for him to get back to the bag. And the count 2-2.
Well, Scotty's got to have a good secondary lead, even though Suzuki is pretty quick and probably the most athletic catcher we have in this league. But the reason why he's got to get a good lead is on a ground ball, and Cahill throws a lot of them. You've got to break up 2.
Nice block by the 25-year-old receiver.
Well, he's as quick as there is to either side.
He's a good player.
There's a lot of catchers that ball would have gotten by, and Scotty would have been standing at second base. But Suzuki now looking over in the dugout. Probably he's looking to see if they want a pickoff play at first.
There goes Scott. And look at this. Boy, that's right out of the A.G. Spalding text guide right there. So runners at the corners. This is shades of 05.
That was a well-executed hit and run. Kennedy vacated the right side. With Scotty going, Alexei inside outs this ball and takes it through that vacated right side. So runners at the corners, nobody out, as the Sox try to come back from that 2-0 deficit with the heart of the order facing a 21-year-old.
Jermaine Dye hitting at 277, 13 homers, 34 knocked in. outfield about equidistant, slightly to the left. So that is low and away, ball one.
The sinker ballers are at their most vulnerable this time of the game because they're overly strong and they just have a hard time with release point. So a meeting at the mound. And this Oakland team has really struggled this year. They're very young. I mean, this is an exceptionally young team. In fact, so young that Kurt Young is their pitching coach.
Weak.
Well, it just kind of popped up.
It did. Just popped out, huh?
Just popped right there, yes.
So here is for the second pitch to Jermaine. That's up high.
Well, see, that's what a good pitching coach does. You throw it too low for about 6 pitches in a row. He comes out, then he throws it too high.
That's real good coaching.
Somewhere in the middle is going to be a line drive to left field by Jermaine.
And the count 3-0. So the youngster out there is having some brain cramps, and Jim Thome on deck.
Now with the youngster struggling, Hawk, you give Jermaine Dye the 3-0 green light here?
No chance.
It's because you want him to dig himself into a hole?
Let him bury himself, yeah. There's one. He's got to come back with close to the same pitch. And Jermaine just took it very well. That's into right field. Pides is going to tag as Cunningham comes on. The throw is way off the mark. Pides scores, and it's a 2-1 ball game.
Aaron Cunningham was a draft choice of the White Sox. And so they're fully aware of his arm strength and at that point his lack of accuracy. So for Jermaine, drives in his 35th, cuts the lead in half, and he got it just far enough.
Here's Big Jim hitting at 256, 8 homers, 29 knocked in. And they're going to put a bit of a modified shift on Thome. Guess they have to with Alexei at first. What Jambi might do is he didn't move his right foot from that set position he was in before. He might just have him throw over there a couple times and then give him his good move and then put that leg down. Oh, mercy. Whew, mercy.
Well, this should be a terrific matchup for Jim Thome because Cahill doesn't want to throw the ball up. He's a sinker baller, yet Jimmy is a dead low ball hitter. So instead of going with his strength, he's going to the hitter's weakness.
That's inside.
And sinker ballers who are forced to get the ball up have a hard time with location.
Outfield shading Jimmy around to the left slightly. Had him out front on the off-speed pitch. So the count 1-2.
This Oakland team has lost their middle infield. They lost Mark Ellis. They lost Bobby Crosby. They lost Travis Buck. And Nomar Garciaparra also hurt.
Eric Chavez may be done.
For the most part, when you are building a team around certain guys who have a history of injury, you can't be too surprised when it pops up again.
Pretty good lead by Alexei. As he gets him up there. And right now let's check out our Heineken picks to click. Jim Angio, our Hall of Fame director and the crew, well, they went with Alexei. Lisa, Tex, and Steve are going to go with Dwayne Wise. And all the good folks from our game operations crew who do such a great job here at the ballpark. Nicole Manning, Jeff Chanel, Amy Sheridan, Dan Milkey, Ramon Farias, Justin Tuzlan, and Rocco Fusco. We're going to go Is that pitch inside? With Paul Konerko, who's at the plate. Paulie hitting it 309. And he's got the catbird seat at 2-0.
Paul has swung the bat well from the start of this year to this first day in June. And he's been on just about everything. He's going to get a change up here.
And he's got a 3-0 count. Now you can turn him loose.
Different scenario here. You've got 2 outs. You do have a home run hitter up and a run producer. Got AJ in the on deck circle, but maybe you can catch this outside fastball.
Takes it right there.
One time Cahill missed his spot. Suzuki set up away, wanted the fastball away. Turned out to be a good moving fastball by Cahill. But he threw it up and in.
Got in on him just enough. Stretch. He jumps and makes a catch. Got in on him just enough. Mercy, another foot. Meanwhile, we come up with one, and after one, it is 2-1 A's.
They don't seem to make a lot of sense in that the bullpen ERA is much lower. The starting rotation has done a better job. And batting average is sunk just a touch. But the pitching has been far superior, and yet a winning April, a losing May, although that last road trip was spectacular.
Ryan Sweeney takes first pitch strike. That is foul back, and that'll be a souvenir left side. Trying to come back. And it comes all the way back into the Sox dugout.
And in checking with a few folks associated with this Oakland team, they said that Sweeney will pull the breaking ball, but has a hard time catching up with the good fastball. That's a ball that he hits to left or left center. With that in mind, got Dwayne Wise a couple of steps into left center.
Yes, he gone.
AJ wants it up. That's a scouting report on Sweeney. Throw the fastball, keep it up, and you throw it by him. Strikeout number 2.
So here's Aaron Cunningham. 1 for 20 since being called up. Sox farmhand as he takes strike on the outside corner.
He was dealt to Arizona in June of 2007, and the centerpiece, or one of the centerpieces of the deal that brought Dan Herron to the Diamondbacks. Only problem that Aaron has is fairly long swing. Hawk, can you shorten?
That would need to be a little longer.
Can you shorten up your swing?
Yeah. You can sort two ways you can do it. One by standing closer to the plate, which is the toughest way to do it. And the other is by letting that left, if you're a right-handed hitter, letting your lead forearm get outside your elbow. The longer that elbow travels forward, the bigger the swing's going to be. The shorter that elbow travels forward, the shorter the swing's going to be. That breaking ball popped up right side. Jermaine is taking control, and that's out number 2.
Book a White Sox group outing or party area today. Save on each ticket for a group of 20 or more fans, whether it's the warning track, fan deck, or individual game diamond suites. They're all available. Book a group outing or party area today. Call 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com.
Jack Hanahan.
Fastball just missed off the outside corner, and Hanahan, who's been terrific defensively, just is not swinging the bat well.
Hitting at 194 with a homer. Last year, limited action with the A's, hit 218, 9 homers, and knocked in 47.
He came over from the Detroit Tigers, where he spent a great deal of time.
Jack's 29. First of a 4-game set, and first of a 12-game, 11-day homestand.
Remember looking at this one, Hawk, as we looked at the schedule, realized that it would be a tough first 2 months, but that if we could just stay afloat, get to that first homestand in June where we played 11 road games and 18 home games.
That is high into right field. Yeah, we talked about it in spring training, and this inning, when this ball comes down, is over. 1-2-3 for Gavin. We go to the bottom of the second, trailing by 1. "33 years of service to the White Sox." David Schaefer, who has meant so much to everybody here in the White Sox family over the years, head of security. He and his wife Kathleen are still going to be associated with us out in spring training at Glendale. 33 years of service, Stoney, but right here we got ourselves a 2-1 Oakland lead. And as you mentioned, we should be getting some runs tonight.
Well, I think we should, because Cahill at this point doesn't have a release point, and hopefully he won't find it. But left-handers have really given him problems, and he's got to start off this inning with A.J., who's been red hot.
A.J. hitting at 299. Good movement on that one. So often you'll see a youngster, and Cahill is at 21 years old. His best pitch is the sinker. And they come out throwing too hard.
That's what happens in the first couple of innings, where they have so much adrenaline and that sinker isn't sinking. Last time out, not bad.
A.J. did not particularly care for that call. Came back.
Came back a little, but Suzuki helped ease it over the inside corner. He's going there again.
And that has popped up left side. Cabrera calling off Hanahan. And that's out number 1.
Host a private party on the U.S. Cellular Field fan deck in center field. Packages include 150 game tickets, access to the fan deck for the whole game, and an all-inclusive food and drink package for the first 90 minutes of the game. Reserve the fan deck today. Call 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com for more details.
Josh Fields hitting at 244. Takes first pitch strike. '70s night here at the ballpark. And he chases one downstairs, and want to sound a big thank you to the Ides of March, who gave us a little concert prior to the game and then sang the anthem. Did a great job on that. You might recall them from the Eye of the Tiger.
That and I'm Your Vehicle, baby. Not yours necessarily.
Really?
Yeah. That was a good one.
Breaking ball. And that is going to be unplayable right on the top of the Oakland dugout.
Well, we're going to see a lot of Josh Fields hits this year. Pretty confident about that, but not too many bigger than that base hit back up the middle against Zach Greinke. That almost took that cloak of invincibility away from their talented young right-hander. Made the score 4-3 at the time. Was a terrific at bat. Plus, he hit a low breaking ball, the same pitch that Greinke used the start before against us to just wipe out every right-hand hitter.
Well, there were 2 hits in that game that were real big yesterday. As there's a chopper to Cabrera, sucks it up, throws him out. 2 down. There were 2 hits. The leadoff triple by Pods put a little dent in that veil of invincibility. And then when he scored on a key base hit with 2 out by Tomey, now everybody else is saying, hey, maybe we can get this guy today. Plus, Greg Walker told me before the game, we talked about it. Greg says, I think we got something for him today.
Well, different approach, because the last 2 approaches we used against him didn't work.
He said, I think we got something for him today. He said, our guys are ready to get after him. And indeed they did. And then, of course, as you mentioned, big hit, the big 2-out, 2-run single by Josh.
And that was really just staying with it, because he took it right back up the middle. You try to pull that ball, you're going to ground out to the left side.
Wayne chases a bad one.
That was a straight change, and bear in mind something. The Sox have never really hit a guy well that they haven't seen before, and they've never seen Cahill.
Little comebacker, so after having what could have been a bad first inning, he has a good second inning, and he leads it 2-1. guys here in the top of the third inning. 2-run homer by Matt Holliday. As the A's go back to the top of the order. Cabrera, Kennedy, and Cust. Big wave at that one in the count 0-1. Cabrera popped up to Dwayne Wise. D. Wise got him in short center field. And that's popped up. Watch out.
Josh decided he was going to run under the arm of Paul Konerko. Time now for our Home Depot doing more on defense replay. And it came off the bat of Adam Kennedy as he hit the ball right back through the middle. And Gavin caught it between his legs. It was easy after that.
About Kennedy, he will compete with you. Almost came back, and the count 2-1. We're going to have these A's for 4 counting tonight, then Cleveland for 3, and then starting Monday that split doubleheader with the Tigers. Game 1 it's 1 o'clock, and then game 2 at 7. So a 5-game series with Detroit starting next Monday. Big 6'5" right-hander. He gone. Pull the string on him.
Comcast and Magnum Insurance present Orgullo Sox Night Friday. That's my favorite band. June 5th, enjoy a pregame concert with Latino performers Orgullo. For tickets, call 866-SOX-GAME or visit whitesox.com/Orgullo.
Cust hit a little ground ball. They had to shift on for him like they do now. That it should have been an easy play for Alexi. He did not even go down for it. So he reached. That would have been the third out. And then Holliday hit the first pitch out of here for a 2-run homer. And the count 0-2.
Gavin's stuff looks a whole lot crisper right now than it did early. Starting to hit his spots. Starting to throw a real good curveball. And he can leave a left-hander standing there by that curveball that starts over the right-handed batter's box and drops over the outside corner.
Like taking the 3 out in a 1-3-6 in bowling, which I've done twice.
Have you?
Yeah. Yes, he did. He gone. 1-2-3 inning for Gavin. He's retired 7 in a row, and it is 2-1 A's. Took place here at U.S. Airley Field just prior to the game, with the two finalists rocking out to Guitar Hero on the outfield scoreboard. The winner will receive VIP access to both Chicago area Aerosmith shows as well as a copy of Guitar Hero, Aerosmith courtesy of Live Nation.
Hanahan's going to be real surprised when Jason Nix is not bunting, because he's in on the grass at third base. And Jason can turn on the ball real well.
Well, he's liable to tear one of his lips off as that pitch inside.
Especially if he pitches him there. There is plenty of room, by the way, to get the ball by Hanahan and down into that left-hand corner, left field corner.
One and one to count. Outfield just about straight away, spread out. Bit of a gap in left center. So the count 1-2. Bottom of the sixth in Pittsburgh, 5-3 Metropolitans. Later on, Arizona at Los Angeles. Milwaukee leading the Marlins 4-2. That game in the bottom of the fifth down in Florida. And that is out number one.
That ball came back, and that caught a good portion of the plate. So if you haven't seen it, it's a pretty tough pitch to hit, but you can't give up if you're a right-hand hitter on that ball away, because his ball just tails.
That's low. Pods walked and scored if you're just tuning in. There's the strike, even to count at one. Alexi Ramirez on deck. Pulled a string on him, had him out in front, had him off balance.
He's got a pretty good changeup for a 21-year-old, and it goes hand in hand with his good sinker.
Two down. That'll bring up Alexi, who has our only hit. Hit and run. Just a little ground ball that went through the vacated spot by Adam Kennedy.
Well, Alexi can bunt if he wants to, because Hanahan is back 4 steps and back of the bag at third. And he shortened up. Let's see if he gets a sign from the dugout to move in a couple of steps. Right now, he's a step in back of the bag.
And Alexi has himself a 2-0 count.
Now you don't want to think about bunting. Now you're probably going to get a pitch to drive if he throws it in the zone.
And the count 3-0. Well, your first statement was right. On 2-0, it's sort of hard to make yourself 2-0. There's a strike. There it is, and it's going foul. He was going to be persistent.
I mean, it was going to be a base hit if he could just get it on the grass. But good idea.
Well, you know, Alexi's thinking probably is, look, that ball's moving so much it's going to be tough for me to take him out of here. I might as well just go ahead and try to get a bunting single and steal a base and maybe score on a single.
And
I don't know Barry Bonds.
Idea.
Oh, it's a good idea. If, in fact, that's what he was thinking, because just got a piece of it. I don't know Barry Bonds. I never met him, never talked to him. But they tell me that he was absolutely as good as anybody who ever played the game at giving pitchers credit to the extent of how he was going to attack them. Would, in fact, they let him give him a pitch that he could take out of the ballpark Like Maddox, he said, no, I can't. He won't give it to me. So he just went for base hits off him. As there's a line drive snared by Jambi. That is 9 in a row now retired by Cahill.
And here he is with our Aflac trivia question. What White Sox pitcher tossed a no-hitter on this date in 1937 versus St. Louis? Well, that one pops right out at you.
It's a 2-1 Oakland lead. As that is just off the outside, or on the outside corner, I should say, to Holiday, who hit that 2-run homer, the 7th. And it was a biggie, a long one. 29-year-old outfielder.
He's going to be a free agent after this year, and odds are overwhelming that he will not be with these Athletics past the trading deadline.
Two balls and a strike. Just got a piece of that one.
Ed Holiday came over from the Colorado Rockies for Carlos Gonzalez and pitchers Greg Smith and Houston Street. That was on November 12th of last year. Billy Beane believes that when he goes to trade him, he's going to get a lot more talent than that in return.
And breaking ball down low. Well, he's got 135 home runs in his career.
And I'm sure the overwhelming majority of them were in Colorado.
That ball drilled into the gap. So the 3-1 pitch that missed. And Holiday leads it off here in the top of the 4th with a double. That's his 7th.
Holiday is awfully strong, and he gets a fastball right down the middle and goes the opposite way with it, which is usually what he does on the fastball. First time up, he got a two-seamer, a sinker inside, and hit it out of the ballpark.
So here is Jambi. The modified shift on. Jambi walked his first trip. Kurt Suzuki on deck. Outfield just about straight away. And there's a strike.
Trumby came to prominence with these same Oakland Athletics for going to New York and signing an unbelievable free agent contract. First couple years there were good, and then he had a lot of physical problems, as well as the other problems that he has admitted to.
That is hit foul. Of course, he just last month hit his 400th home run.
He gets it off Dan Herron, and that was a sinker that didn't sink. 44th player to hit as many as 400 home runs.
And the 1-2. Jim Thome, of course, sitting on 549. Bit of a gap out there in left center as the 2-2 pitch. He gone. He knew it.
We just got outguessed, and that was a situation where Giambi had to pull the ball to the right side. He wasn't able to do it, so Holliday stays at second base. This could turn out to be a big strikeout as Gavin throws that hook and splits the middle of the plate with it.
So here's Suzuki, struck out swinging on a curveball. Suzuki last year he hit 279, 7 homers, and knocked in 42. Right on the outside corner, so very quickly 0-2.
You don't really need a setup pitch here because Suzuki's not going to hit a curveball. So instead of setting him up with something, just throw him the curveball and wipe him out. Try to keep your pitches to a minimum. And then take your chances with Sweeney.
That is a curveball hit into center field. And that's out number 2. That was a bad curveball. Good pitch to hit.
It was indeed. Experience White Sox baseball year-round by booking Southpaw for birthday parties, weddings, school assemblies, holiday parties, and festivals. Southpaw is available 365 days a year. Book Southpaw for your next event. Call 312-674-5312 or visit whitesox.com/Southpaw.
Sweeney struck out on a high and wide fastball. Hit down to Pauly, who sucks it up, and the leadoff double by Holliday goes for naught. We go to the bottom of the 4th. It is still 2-1 Athletics. There's the duck. Affleck, question and answer. What White Sox pitcher tossed a no-hitter on the state? 1937. That was just during my second tour at that time.
Bill Dietrich. And the Sox won 8-0.
That's a wonderful trivia question.
You remember Bill Dietrich?
Sinker slider.
Oh, he threw.
And every now and then he'd load one up.
Paint the corners on you.
Yeah.
Throw the high heat on occasion.
And that little slippery elm ball, you know.
They used to use that, by the way. I tried that once.
Did you? How did it work?
Elm. It didn't work well. My tongue kept slipping out of my mouth.
You hung your tongue, huh?
Yeah. I didn't like that at all.
Jermaine knocked in our only run with a sacrifice fly. I don't think you like that call. You know, it's 35 ribbies.
This is the second time through, so they should have a pretty good idea about how the fastball at Cahill moves.
That is into short right center field. Cunningham. Yeah, it really is amazing when we have not seen a guy. Makes no difference how old or how young he is.
Or how hard or how soft he throws.
Doesn't make any difference.
Nope.
It just seems like we just have a very difficult time. As here's Tomey struck out on a fastball, a high sinker. Took something off that one. Changing speeds. And that's inside.
That's what Jimmy's been doing a lot better job of, is taking inside pitches. Because everybody's trying to get in on his hands.
Especially all right-handers are. It's easier for a right-hander to get him on his hands than a left-hander.
Yep.
That ball hit deep into center field. Stretch. Sweeney is back right in front of the track, hauls it in. And that is out number 2.
Earlier in the day, when it was a lot warmer than it is now, that one's probably out of the ballpark. But with the cool temperatures moving in, that ball about 390 feet away, and wind not much of a factor, but the temperatures have dropped at least 15 degrees, maybe more.
So here's Kaneko. Here's what he did his first time up.
Nice effort. Matt Holliday needs all 6'4" of his lanky frame to haul that one in.
As Paulie takes first pitch strike. He just misses another few inches. We had a tie ball again. That's about a 54-footer. Cahill out of Oceanside, California. First 2 men got on and walked the Pides. A single by Alexi on the hit and run. First and third, nobody out. Sacrifice fly by Dye. Since Alexi, he's retired everybody he's seen.
Well, if you're Bob Guerin, the manager of this Oakland team, you want Cahill to go deep in the game. And he's encouraged his starters to do that because the bullpen has been really good, except they've been used a whole lot.
This ball did not come back to catch that plate.
No.
He's been giving him that pitch the last couple of innings. As there's a foul ball.
Well, again, it's not where the catcher catches it, because you have to call the plate where the ball comes over, and that ball is outside. It does come back to Suzuki, but it doesn't come over the plate as strike.
No, it's not a strike. You call one on Jermaine the same way.
Well, it makes you expand your strike zone if you're the hitter. You talk about a wider plate all the time, Hawk.
Well, I talk about there are several ways that a pitcher can widen the plate out. And one, obviously, is by pitching inside. The other is by having the defense catch everything he throws. And the other is having an umpire give you
Hey, get an umpire give you 2 inches on either side.
Full count.
Well, the last time he tried to get inside on Paul and almost wasn't able to do it.
Ball for a base hit right here, 14.
Yeah, there was a pitch that he probably thought was off the plate, but couldn't take it because of the way the pitch was called earlier in the at-bat. And there's a young man who is finding out that he misjudged the temperature.
On June 1st?
A lot like me. I thought it was going to be a lot warmer. Fortunately, Roger Bossert brought up this piece of cake.
That'll help.
Yep.
There's a two-hopper down to Hanahan. So that is 12 in a row retired by this youngster, and he leads it 2-1.
Season, Dominics will make a donation to Chicago White Sox charities.
And we have turned 42 of them. So here's Aaron Cunningham leading off the top of the fifth. Takes first pitch strike. Cunningham has popped up to his counterpart, Jermaine Dye.
And when a young hitter has a long swing, he's very susceptible to the off-speed pitch, but especially the breaking ball. Gavin has got to realize that he's overthrowing the curveball now, so he's either hanging it or spinning it. He's got to shorten his stride and stay over the top of it.
That's just about as simple as it can get right there.
I mean, that's
the rudiments of throwing a curveball. Shorten your stride and stay on top. So you can stay on top. You got to keep that upper part of the chest back so it will follow rather than lead. He gets in that habit of letting this lead the upper part.
Well, Don Cooper and every pitching coach has a different vocabulary or language he likes to use with their pitchers, and Don calls it keep your nose over your toes, which is the same thing as saying keep your weight back.
2-2. He gone.
It was an off-speed pitch, and we talked about a young hitter with a long swing having trouble with anything off-speed. That's a straight change, and a good one, maybe the best that Gavin's thrown tonight.
So here's Hanahan. He just missed one. He hit it. He barreled it up just underneath it. There's a line drive caught by Alexis.
Great timing by Ramirez. He was tracking that ball all the way, and at the top of his leap, he was able to have that ball stick in the top of his glove. This looked like another base hit. Ramirez goes up. That's about as good as you can time it. Great effort by Ramirez.
So here's Cabrera. He's popped to center, and he has fouled out, popped up, I should say, to Konerko. There's a good strike, and the count 0-2.
Gavin is now starting to throw that little cut fastball, and he's keeping it on the outside corner to the right-hander. So he's gotten a pretty good release point for it.
Soft line drive, and that is 13 out of the last 14 retired by Gavin Floyd. Thank you very much. It is the bottom of the fifth. 2-3-0 for them. 1 run, 1 hit. That was a little ground ball on the hit and run. It went through the vacated spot of Adam Kennedy back in the first inning. Since then, he has retired everybody who's walked up to that plate, has Trevor Cahill.
A couple of guys have hit the ball hard, but not all that hard. And it's time to start getting some good pitches, and hopefully he'll get some of those sinkers up.
And the count 2-0.
That jumping off the mound to the third base side is reminiscent of Houston Street, who would do that.
That ball hit deep, stay fair. He looks up, you can put it on the board. Yes! He got it up. And AJ got it out. Number 5 for Pierzynski. This game is tied at 2.
AJ's driven in 12, and the only thing you had to worry about was, would that ball stay fair? It's our Ford home run replay, and that sinker was indeed up, and AJ knew he got every bit of it. He just was watching to see if he hooked it. He didn't, and it's a brand new game.
First pitch strike to Josh, who grounded out to Orlando Cabrera. And of course, with that home run by Pierzynski, the Alex Snellius family will donate $100 to White Sox charities for every Sox homer hit throughout the course of the season. That is number 51, so $5,100 donated by Alex Snellius in loving memory of Ursula.
Cahill's given up 9 home runs this year in 58 innings of work. That's a fairly high total, especially in that ballpark, which is a pitcher's paradise in Oakland.
Well, even though he's got a good sinker, he makes mistakes with it, and you have to assume that of the 9 home runs, probably almost all of them came on a high sinker. As Josh goes down, that's 1 out.
Wes Whistler throwing in a bullpen. Big left-hander called up from the minor leagues. And he's certainly going to get an opportunity here.
Off the end of the bat on that changeup. So Dwayne Wise both times has been thrown out 1-3.
Provide your guests with the ultimate baseball experience in the Jim Beam Club. This all-inclusive premium seating area located behind home plate features a Levy Catering pregame buffet, open bar, in-seat food and beverage menu, along with premium reserve parking and much more. For more information, call 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com/Jim Beam Club.
Big Bobby Lanigan's haunts. As here is Jason Nix called out. His first time up.
Had a chance to see Bobby Bertucci today.
The Bertucci boys.
Yeah,
you know how there's some people that when you see them or somebody mentions their name, you light up?
Yeah.
That's the kind of guys they are. You just light up.
Well, I've seen him happy a lot. I would never like to see him mad.
No, sir. That would be a big mistake. The 0-2 pitch. Pitcher's pitch. Had to go after it. And he throws it away, does Kennedy, as Giambi slipped.
And he had to get back to the bag quickly. It goes E4. But the reason he had to go back to the bag quickly was he thought for a second about going to second base, so he actually turned into fair territory. And with Suzuki following the play, as catchers will do, they had to play it first.
And that's the reason he slipped, because Kennedy just flat hung on to it too long.
And having to redirect when you're a big man is pretty tough. And you see him here, and he does have to try to go out and get it.
And he's going to steal it. That's his third stolen base. He is 3 for 3.
That was a real good play, by the way, by Kennedy. After making a mistake, Nix could have easily been on third base. But Suzuki airmails Cabrera. And you see Kennedy back there to make sure it doesn't go into center field.
Tell you one thing about Jason Nix. He's got a real good technique.
I think he's got tremendous acceleration. He could be a prolific base stealer.
He has got real good technique. Doesn't get that big one-way lead where he's thinking back to first. 2-0 the count to Pides. Scotty Pides has walked, scored, and grounded to second.
Let's make that error really hurt him.
And the count 3-0. A 2-2 tie here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Alexei Ramirez waiting in the on-deck circle.
There's one.
Sweeney's got a pretty decent arm in center field, although he's not really a center fielder by trade. He's more of a corner outfielder.
Little comebacker, but the home run by Pierzynski, and we'll go to the 6th, tied at 2. Floyd and Trevor Cahill pitching well, both of them.
I think it's a pretty good pitching matchup. You've got a good curveball pitcher with a good sinker baller.
First pitch to Adam Kennedy, hit softly to his counterpart, Jason Nix. Kennedy now 0 for 3.
This is a part of the batting order that you have to worry about a bit, because you've got Cust, who has big power. Holiday is 2 for 2, and he's crushed 2 balls, 1 a 2-run homer. And if anybody gets on, then you have to worry about Giambi.
Well, with Cust, he is a good mistake hitter. Free swinger. You make a decent pitch on him, you're probably going to get him. You make a mistake, and he might get you, because he can take you out anywhere. Holiday, a little more of a good pitcher pitch hitter than Cust. He can get decent pitches and hit them out of here. And of course, Giambi, enough said, a member of the 400 home run club. That's a big hack right there. That's a beautiful swing. Fortunately, just underneath it.
Well, Cust is a one-way hitter, and fortunately that ball was up, and you see a drastic uppercut swing, and that makes him really susceptible to a high fastball. Plus that curveball we talked about.
That ball is high and deep to center field. At the wall, and makes the catch.
Well, it's one robbery for them and one robbery for us.
D. Wise had it all the way. Piece of cake.
Fortunate part about it is it's getting cooler, and Dwayne Wise measuring this ball, and he makes a good leaping catch. Not sure if that one would have been out of the ballpark, but it certainly would have been some problems.
From that angle, it looked like it probably would have hit on top of the fence and possibly bounced over. Holiday, nice pitching on the fifth. A very quick 1-2-3 inning for Gavin Floyd. Sports News Nightly on Sports Night, presented by Dex. Coming up tonight after Sox postgame live, we'll give you the latest about Derrick Rose, plus this day in Chicago sports history. So join Pat and Mark for Sports Night, presented by Dex. Tonight after Sox postgame live, only on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend.
Now, I'm sure that Hanahan's going to remember that Alexei showed bunt 3 different times the last at bat before finally lining out. And he is 2 steps in front of the bag this time at the cut of the grass at third base.
Alexei has one of our 2 hits. That single back in the first inning. Of course, the other one, the home run last inning. AJ, as he checks it up and fouls it off. 2-3-1 for the A's, 2-2-0 for our Sox here in the first of this 4-game series, in the first of this 12-game, 11-day homestand. And the count 0-2. Jermaine Dye on deck and Jim Thome in the hole. Caught a big break with the weather tonight.
A big break, because it looked for a while as I was driving over here like the animals were pairing up.
Tell you what, we ran through a good one coming up here. I mean, it was a cow in the flat rock.
There's Greg Breslow. He's on a flat rock.
He's giving us trouble, Breslow.
He was particularly tough in the Dome in Minnesota after they got him on waivers from the Indians. And I don't know, after letting Dennis Reyes go, I'm having a hard pressed to understand why they let Breslow go, but he finds himself a job over here with Oakland because he can get the ball over the plate and throw left-handed.
He didn't touch either one of those guys.
Nope.
Here's a 1-2. That ball into left field. Holiday makes the catch.
Well, he had Alexei out on the front foot and couldn't get quite enough into the swing.
And to slow up his bat.
Yep. And unfortunately, when you get out on the front foot, if your hands move forward even the least little bit, you're not going to get it on the sweet spot, and that's what happened. See the location of that? That was a high straight change, and that's what had Alexei out on his front foot.
That may have accounted for 1 or 2 of those 9 home runs. That
yeah. The high straight change?
Yeah. It sure wasn't a breaking ball.
Nope.
Jermaine the sacrifice fly, and he has popped up to right, so he is 0 for 1. And he's got a 2-0 count. Yankees now leading Cleveland 6-1. That game in the bottom of the 7th at Progressive Field.
This is right around the average, by the way, for Cahill. He's averaged around 5 1/3 innings per start. That's where he is right now.
Two and 1. And he's got the catbird seat. 3 and 1.
Breslow continuing to work and Thome up next. You wonder how patient Bob Guerin will be.
And that's ball 4. That's the second walk issued. First walk was to the first hitter he faced, Pods, Scotty Pods, back in the first inning.
Suzuki goes out to have a quick word with him.
Jimmy has struck out, and he has gone out deep to center.
This is the first inning that Cahill's looked a little vulnerable as far as location. He's missed his location with 4 of the 5 pitches he's thrown.
Got in on him with that one.
.94 pitch mark. But bear in mind he's 21 years old, so he should have plenty of strength.
Outfield about equidistant, spread out slightly to the left. And there's a base hit through the shift. Jermaine is now going to pull up. So 1 out, 2 on, and that'll bring up Konerko.
And if I'm Kurt Young and Bob Guerin, I'm looking and watch this young man and wondering when the roof is going to fall in, because the stuff is a little short right now. Jimmy just crushes this ball through the shift.
If he gets that one up, we got a 2-run lead.
Phil Cuzzy comes out and he wants to break up this meeting at the mound. Good conversation between a lot of home runs.
951 between the two of them. Yeah, you can say they have a lot in common.
Both left-handed. One wears a mustache.
And they both know how to hit home runs.
Boy, they can do that.
So here's Paulie, who has gone out deep. Matt Holliday went up over the fence and took a home run away from him, and he has grounded a 2-hopper to third. Took that pitch nicely.
May needs a little better secondary lead. You can see they're not paying any attention to him at second base.
Big hack right there. Outfield about equidistant now. Not quite as spread out as there's a ground ball knocked down. And look at this. They don't get Paulie. The ball was shuffled on the ground by Cabrera over to Adam Kennedy. That's a heck of a play right there.
Well, it's a break because Cabrera couldn't corral it. But you see him just flip it, and he's fortunate it goes right to Kennedy, who almost turns the double play. And fortunately, Paul was able to tie it. That's going to be it for Cahill, as Bob Guerin has rolled the dice long enough. The youngster did a terrific job, but was running out of gas, and so now we're going to see Breslow.
All right, so Trevor Cahill pitched himself a nice ball game to Parts Aaron. We'll be back.
At Minnesota. but he has done real well at Oakland. He was 1-3 with a 5.03 ERA, and that's a combination of the two. But just with Oakland, he's 0-1. His ERA 1.69. This is his 7th appearance. So he inherits runners at the corners, the game on the bases in the bottom of the 6th. There are 2 outs, and A.J. Pierzynski with a towering home run last time.
And if you missed it, poof. Get that bat in front of him and just drilled it. So here we go. Breslow graduated from Yale.
That's pretty good.
That's the reason he's giving us a tough time. He's smarter than we are. He is a molecular biophysics and biochemistry major.
So don't ask him about the theory of relativity?
No.
Relativity. Or divity.
No. Just ask him about the curveball and the slider.
In 2005, he became the first Bulldog, and I assume that's a Yaley, to reach the major league since Ron Darling.
1-1 to count here. Gap out there in right center, as now AJ's got to cinch it up and hunker down. A 2-2 tie, bottom of the 6th. Runners at the corners and 2 down. Breslow has just absolutely been almost untouchable against our guys. Meanwhile, we threaten, can't score. We'll go to the 7th, tied at 2. Series continues on Comcast Sportsnet as Paul Konerko and the Sox take on the Oakland Athletics. It's the Sox and the A's in high definition tomorrow night at 7 right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend. They have made an error. We have not. That's the difference in the numbers up on the scoreboard. 2-3-1 for them, 2-3-0 for us.
And a good job by young Trevor Cahill. He threw the ball real well tonight. Get a no decision out of it thanks to a high fastball from Craig Breslow.
First pitch, the 38-year-old veteran Jason Jambi, who has walked and struck out, called out on a good backdoor curveball. And the count 1-1. Cincinnati leading St. Louis 3-2, top of the 5th in Missouri. Outfield straight up, spread out. And that's going to be high. Right size, wrong shape.
Well, that's the difference between a fastball and a straight change. That was a straight change. And To Giambi, it looked like a fastball. So he goes out and gets it and hooks it well foul. Fortunately, it wasn't a fastball. You see the straight change is right in the hitting spot, but it's well foul.
And that breaking ball just did get a piece of it. Good pitch by Gavin.
Well, I'd come back with another one, only throw it a little further outside, and that will strike him out. Got that one on the inner portion and threw it low and in.
2-2 the count to the leadoff man for the A's here in the top of the 7th inning. He gone. Turn that one over. Got it in a good spot. Good changeup right there from Gavin.
Well, Gavin's had a good curveball and a real good straight change tonight. That one just disappeared low and away. And with as good a fastball as Gavin has, you can't really see this. You're registering fastball, and he's throwing that change. Now, that time he got it down and it's really effective.
So here's Suzuki, who has struck out swinging on a curveball, and he has gone out to center.
You do have to try to take the bunt away from him with that in mind. Josh Fields is in at third. If he's not the best running catcher around, he's right up there with the top 2 or 3 in the game.
That ball hammered into left field. Pods. Yes. That's a hang muffin for Suzuki.
That ball was hit right on the button, and fortunately Scott was able to get a good jump. And that wasn't a sinking line drive. That was a rising line drive.
Gavin has retired 18 out of the last 19 as Sweeney stands in. Takes it high and wide. He is struck out and grounded to first. Two and 0 the count.
Santiago Casilla, the hard-throwing right-hander, up in the pen.
Three balls, no strikes. Gavin has walked one. Coming back in the first inning to Jason Giambi. Now make it 2.
You've got to watch Sweeney because he'll run in this situation. In 91 pitches, as we break down the first inning, very tough for Gavin Floyd. 24 pitches. After that, he's been very economical, including the 5-pitch 6th. And I think AJ went out there to warn him about Sweeney. They don't have a lot of prolific base stealers on this team, but Sweeney is in second place.
4 for 6. He's got a decent lead. And here's Cunningham, who has popped up to die and struck out. Takes first pitch strike.
With Gavin using the slide step, which is what he's been doing to combat the base runners, that's a good idea. But you want to make sure that you really get on top and follow through on that curveball especially. And here comes a slider. It'll be a harder breaking ball this time.
Well, that second slide step to Bobby Abreu got him out in Anaheim.
There's no doubt.
They were screaming at him from the dugout.
Yep. I talked to him about it, and he said that he thought when they told him to use a slide step that they wanted to use him all the time. And I said, well, you had Mathis at second base, who's a catcher, and it might not have been the wisest choice.
That's high. Yeah, I talked to Ozzie about it afterward. He said they were just standing up there screaming. Take your windup. from the stretch, not the slide step. Two out and a 1-2. Don't pick and pick here. Don't nitpick.
Well, AJ knows if he can get.
Not her, him. Yeah.
It's good hair. AJ knows if he can get one slider close to the zone, that he's going to get Cunningham. Now we're going to look at a sinker.
And that's back through the middle. And Nix could not get to it. So Cunningham with the 2-out single moves Sweeney into scoring position.
This sinker didn't sink. It stayed right in the middle of the plate. Gavin, who falls off to the first base side, let that ball go right by him. So now the one guy who's hit the ball very hard twice, Jack Hanahan, will look out at Gavin Floyd, and that's one of the reasons why Don Cooper is coming out. Last time up, Alexia Ramirez made an outstanding leaping grab as Matt Thornton starts getting loosened in the pen.
Hanahan just missed one his first at bat. Had it right on the sweet meat and just underneath it. So Coop has his say. And here we go. 2 on 2 out. Top of the 7th and a 2-2 tie.
What he'd probably like to see here is Gavin Floyd staying away from Hanahan. If he gets a base hit, you wouldn't mind him getting a one hopper to left field. That one was on the outside corner.
Little breaking ball, little slider right there on the outside corner. If you can do that a couple more times, no problem. But you got to do it. I'm with you. I don't mind anything hard away. That one slips. And a count 1-1. It's according to how he's going to get, if he gets to a 1-2 count, how he gets there to deal with a 1-2 pitch. But this is a big pitch in the sequence. Always a big pitch in a tight spot is a 1-1. And the advantage right here goes to Hanahan. Cunningham at first, Sweeney at second. And 3-1 to count.
Well, now Hanahan's sitting up there looking one pitch, and that's a fastball.
Well, the first pitch of the sequence is so big, and he makes a great pitcher's pitch. A little slider on the outside corner, backdoor slider. And then just the curveball slipped out of his hand on the second pitch. But, you know, all of a sudden now you nitpick, and you're 3-1. Pull the string on him. That's the last thing he's looking for.
Well, this was one of the better pitches he's made tonight. That's a good straight change. And it really isn't a bad idea to back one up with another straight change. Fans on their feet. They want one more big pitch.
2 out and a payoff pitch. And that's ball 4. So 2 walks this inning.
Well, he went back to the straight change, but this one, unlike the last one, just dove quickly out of the zone. You got Thornton for Kennedy, but you're hoping it doesn't come to that. Last time up, the at-bat ended on an 0-2 fastball away that Cabrera hit right on the nose, but right at Paulie at first base.
He is 0 for 3, and you know what's going through his mind. Boy, there is some adrenaline flowing right now. And A.J. possibly thinking the same thing, pulls the string on him.
Gavin's had a good straight change tonight for the most part. Now he's missed with a few, but when he's gotten it close to the zone, they've swung over the top of it.
Sacks packed with A's. Nice block by A.J. And the count evens at 1. Cabrera in situations like this last year, wearing that White Sox uniform, wanted to go against the tough right-hander right back at him. Another change.
There was a time in the career of Orlando Cabrera where he was hitting 3 with the Montreal Expos and drove in 100 runs. So he's no stranger to driving in runs, but now he's a leadoff hitter, and the fans once again on their feet.
Well, with us, he was not afraid to drive in the big run. He's still sitting on that fastball. Curveball right off down the back. If he gets that down a little bit, he's gone.
Just a touch. Cabrera's only fanned this entire season 16 times and 202 at bats.
They stayed away from the gas. A.J. playing him like a fiddle right there. And 7th inning stretch tied at 2.
All-Star game. Now we'll take a look at the pitch sequence and how Gavin Floyd retired Orlando Cabrera in a key situation. Straight change, then one in the dirt. Another straight change. Then a curveball that he fought off before he strikes him out with a straight change. And for Cabrera, that's only the 17th time in 203 at-bats that he went down on strikes. And for Gavin Floyd, a terrific night.
Josh Fields can't get it from Breslow. Well, A.J. right there putting the numbers down, and he knew what Cabrera wanted to do. He knows how a good fastball hitter Orlando is, especially in big situations. First pitch of that sequence was huge. That first change, straight change. As Josh can't get it. Josh is 0 for 2 tonight.
We just got to swing at some strikes from Breslow. Right now, we're swinging at everything up and out of the zone.
Well, that's because he majored in molecular biochemistry. That's close. Didn't get it.
I remember we had a molecular area in my university. I don't think you could major in it.
At Kent State.
Yes.
Harvard of
that bastion of academia.
One out. Breslow just dazzles our guys.
Brian Anderson's going to come out. He's going to pinch hit for Dwayne Wise.
Brian's one of those guys in our club. We get a few of them who have been under the weather and still are.
Yeah, it's really taken a toll of this team, and it's a testament to the team that they had that road trip with 5 of 6 wins, because I would say that at least half of the team is experiencing some sort of symptoms.
No. Bobby had it before we started out on that trip. Jinx.
Well, he was ground zero. All spread out from there.
As the count very quickly 0-2. Breslow just coming right at him like, who are these guys?
Like he's a 100-mile-an-hour fastball, which he doesn't.
Bobby said he's feeling better. As that is popped up. Sweeney taking charge. 2 down.
Well, Jason Nix is going to have his opportunity, and he's shown this year that he can hit the ball out of the ballpark. He goes up there looking for a pitch, preferably a fastball, and he really doesn't leave anything to the imagination. He will air it out. They're playing very deep in the outfield. It's a no doubles defense.
Well, Jason, 0 for 2. He reached on an error last time up and then picked up his 3rd stolen base as he takes ball 1. And he's got the count. 2-0.
If Breslow gives him anything too good to hit here, that's really a big mistake, because he's got the left-hander Scotty Pods in the on-deck circle, and you know that Nix has the power to hit a home run.
High and deep. Did he get it? Stretch. Stretch. Sweeney back right in front of Louis Aparicio. Hauls it in. He just missed it. And we'll go to the 8th, tied at 2. cute in collared shirt and shorts, you know.
But I also and the red pinstripes. That was in '73. Those were fine-looking uniforms. And Matt Thornton comes in the game.
Adam Kennedy takes first pitch strike. He is 0 for 3 tonight. Grounded back to Gavin Floyd, who made a beautiful play. As you see, Brian Anderson remains in the game in center field. There's strike 2. So Brian once again pitching well. If you're just tuning in, the 2 runs they got came in the first inning, a 2-run homer by Matt Holliday, but it shouldn't have been a 2-run homer. He gone. 1 out.
When you bring Matt Thornton in against that first left-hander, they just look up like, wait a second. Is he really throwing that hard? I mean, 3 in a row right down the middle, and the third one completely overmatched. A pretty good hitter in Kennedy.
But after 2 were out in the first inning, you got Cabrera leading off the game to pop up. Then he made the good play on Kennedy. And Jack Cust, who's at the plate right now, had to shift on. They don't have it on with the left-hander out there on him now, but had to shift on. And the ball, it was an easy play, and Alexei just didn't make it. They didn't give him an error because he didn't get a glove on it. And then Holliday hit the first pitch for a 2-run homer. So it should have been first inning over, and if it was a home run, it was going to be a solo shot leading off the second.
Well, there's 5 pitches, 5 strikes. Octavio Dotel loosening up, and another high fastball, and it's 6 pitches and 6 strikes.
Just off the corner.
Sure, he wanted it that low to this guy because he does have big power even to the opposite field, especially on thigh-high fastballs.
Two and 2. Two, 4 and 1 for the A's. 2, 3 and 0 for our Sox. That's upper tank left side.
And you could tell that was a high fastball, how late Cust was on that swing. We'll take a look at it from the side, and you'll see a high fastball, and Cust is hard pressed to get his hands up just to foul it off.
Well, the higher the pitch he chases, the less of the zone he has to hit in. He gone.
Fed him a steady diet of pitches away, and then he came with the inside heat.
And that really is Cust's wheelhouse right there off Thornton.
Except he was looking away.
That's right.
Look away. Get it in and see you later.
Song in there somewhere.
I think so.
Here's Holliday. 2-run homer, a double, and a grounder to third. Takes first pitch strike. Does a 29-year-old outfielder. Not a good swing.
Well, one more of those. And this will be a very quick and very uneventful inning, which is exactly what you want.
Yeah, he's just trying to get his thoughts together now after that one. He gone. Didn't take long. 1, 2, 3 punch outs, and we'll go to the bottom of the 8th. It'll be Pods, Alexei, and Dye.
with the AT&T Rapid Rewind. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. And they delivered you the Disco Inferno.
I like that feature. AT&T.
That's a good one. I think you get to see
rewind. Fast summary.
The way the whole game works.
Scotty Pides against Breslow takes ball one.
I think this is going to be the last hitter that Breslow is going to face.
Scotty has walked and scored. That was in the first. He's also grounded to second and grounded back to the pitcher.
And Scotty's using that walk-up, used the walk-up the first pitch against Breslow. Do you think it's equally effective with a left-hander as it is with a right-hander?
I think if the left-hander has got if he's got a curveball and a slider, no. But if he's more or less a two-pitch pitcher, yeah, just as equal. As I said, there's a reason that pitchers in the past have not allowed hitters to do it. As the count moves to 3-1.
Well, you walk him to lead off this inning, and Breslow's looking for another loss on his record, as Casillas probably coming in to face Ramirez and Dye.
And that's ball four. Scotty Pides doing his job.
And before Scotty could get to first base, Bob Guerin goes to the mound. Casillas is going to come in. Hard-throwing right-hander.
All right. Breslow will depart, and we'll be back. There's nobody out, and the leadoff man aboard, Scott Paccetti. And boy, I'll tell you what, we've seen some good pitching in this game.
Well, this has been an entertaining game because it's been really close to the vest, very hard fought with both teams, and now with a chance to go ahead, Casillas comes into the game and he's had all kinds of control problems. So hopefully Sox hitters will not help him out. He's walked 11 in 17 innings. So there you look at the numbers: 11 walks, 17 hits, 19 innings of work. High ERA. He throws awfully hard, but for the most part, he's a one-speed pitcher.
He's 28 years old, out of the Dominican Republic, San Cristobal. So Alexei Ramirez.
White Sox Diamond Suites are perfect for client entertainment, family parties, or a night out with friends. Provide first-class service while enjoying White Sox baseball. Reserve a Diamond Suite today. Call 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com for more details.
So the 26,038, and they have been into this game as usual. As you got Hanahan well in on the grass at third. Odds with that big lead.
Hanahan's a real good fielder, so if you're going to lay down a bunt, push it up the first base side.
Gap out there in left center as that pitch is up and in.
I got a feeling if Alexei decides to pull it back, I'm not sure if Casilla can throw him 3 strikes before he can throw him 3 more balls. Line, Brink, and Jenks in the pen.
Tied at 2, just 7 hits in the game. Oakland has 4 of them. And he takes it right there. So 1-1 to count. Jeff Cox going through a sequence of signs down at third. Kennedy now creeping in as he takes another one right there, and the count 1-2.
Well, he shortened up to bunt. It's okay to do that once, but shortening up to bunt, tough to take that second one. Now they're playing him as an off-field hitter. There's a huge gap in left center.
Suzuki checking over. Bob Guerin, former catcher himself. The skipper.
There's a lot of former catchers that are managing in the major leagues.
And that is popped up and can't get him. So not a good at bat at all for Alexei. Taking 2 right down the middle.
I'm not sure why you'd have him bunt on the third one, but I do know one thing. Scotty Pods just barely got back, and he knew that ball was popped up. It's a pretty close play at first. Now that ball's popped up. There's nothing to wait for.
So here's Jermaine. He's 0 for 1 with a sacrifice fly and a walk. As Casilla grabs strike 1. Big lead by Pod. And Suzuki backhands it 1-1. And game 2 tomorrow night. It'll be Bartolo Colon against Vin Mazzaro, 22-year-old right-hander.
He's a 22-year-old right-hander with a whole lot of promise. They thought he was going to be one of the big 3 and still think he will be. Probably not as good as the last big 3 Oakland had, but
well, those 3 that he had before, you can write a lot of books when you got 3 guys like that.
Hudson, Zito, and Mulder. I would say that they make a manager look real good.
You can do anything you want to do when you got those 3.
Now Suzuki going out. Must have a word, and probably going to change the signs because Cabrera wants to know just how they're going to work Jermaine Dye.
Yeah, when you had Mulder, Zito, and Hudson, you could reinvent the game.
Well, it's just like Atlanta in their 14th straight division titles, because eventually to Smoltz and Glavine and Avery they added Greg Maddux. You had 4 of the guys, and then Avery dropped off, of course. You had the big 3 that stayed together for a long time.
And then you had Millwood come in.
And Millwood was, yeah, he was added to that group.
Right here, big pitch coming up, the 1-1. And there's a base hit. So Jermaine comes through, gets Pods down into scoring position, and that'll bring up Tomey. Oh, for the sacrifice bunt.
If you don't execute, it's tough. And if you don't change speeds, good hitters like Jermaine Dye are going to get right on top of you. That ball just to the left of Hanahan. It goes into left field. So they're going to be forced to play Jimmy almost straight up. They're not going to be able to shift.
Jimmy 1 for 3. Just missed a homer back in the 4th inning. Deep into center. Gap out there in right center.
And as deep as they are all the way around, it's going to be close to impossible to throw out Scotty Potts.
As that pitch up high. Come on, Big Jim. Come on, 25. Right man, right spot, right time.
As long as you keep throwing him one speed, he's got something for you.
Fights that one off on the inside part of the plate, and a count 1-1. Outfield really spread out. Big pitch here. Yes, he did.
Well, there's no doubt that he swung at that ball by Dan Bellino.
Sort of wish he'd have hit it.
And that one dipped low and in. He couldn't check his swing.
So now he's got to cinch it up and hunker down 1 and 2. And the strike zone is much larger. That ball hit hard, deep, way back. Holiday looks up. You can put it on the board. Yes, yes. Number 550, but more importantly, Sox lead it 5-2.
You throw one speed to Jim Thome, and he's going to hurt you. That fastball on the outside portion of the plate, the Dodge drive of the game. Jim Thome now driven in 32. That ball was on the outside part of the plate, and Jimmy just took it out of the ballpark easily. This is a real strong guy, and if you're not going to fool him, you're not going to throw it by him thigh high. We talked about Breslow picking up a loss if he walked Scotty Podsednik. He did that, and right now he's on the hook. It's a 3-run lead, and they're looking right down the barrel of Bobby Jenks.
Number 550. Number 9 on the season. Coming on a 1-2 fastball. So here's Paulie. Don't stop now, Paulie. Paulie 0 for 3. Just missed a home run. When I say just missed it, Holiday took it away from him back in the 1st inning. That would have been a 2-run homer.
We had Holiday take one away, Dwayne Wise take another one away, so we're even in that department, but nobody's going to take away that 3-run bomb.
Mully's happy.
Yes, he is. He'll be happy in the morning, especially when that alarm goes off.
That's low in the count, 2-0.
Here's a look at the big man.
And the count 3-0. Turn him loose. AJ on deck. You're just joining us. Sox trailed it 2-0 going to the bottom of the first. As there's a strike.
That's a 4th home run Casillas given up in less than 20 innings of work.
Well, you called it right on the money. That ball hit hard. Stay fair. But when you're coming hard, I don't care what your name is. I face the hardest score in the world. I don't care what your name is.
No, same speed, and eventually they're just going to get you.
It's just a matter of time.
Well, Jermaine got him first, and then Jimmy came up. And with the power he has to left center field, you throw him away, odds are he's going to put a charge into it.
Yeah, if you got hard with great movement, that's another story. But hard, straight, And that's ball 4.
Kevin Cameron loosening up in the bullpen. Bob Guerin coming out. Now this bullpen that was very, very good has been really used a whole lot recently, and because of that they're losing a whole lot of their effectiveness.
So Casillas departs, and we'll be back. White Sox postgame live. You'll see all the highlights, get Bill Melton's analysis, plus listen in on Ozzie Guillen's postgame remarks. That's always interesting. Don't miss U.S. Cellular White Sox postgame live immediately following our game right here on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend.
Kevin Cameron comes on. Cameron, 3.57 ERA, on for the 11th time. Good control, and he's had a pretty good run at it out of the bullpen.
One out, Konerko at first, and AJ, who is 1 for 3, his 5th homer leading off the 5th, and that tied it at 2. That ball is slammed foul left side. 5-5-0 for our guys, 2-4-1 for their guys. Outfield spread out. Twice tonight AJ has chased a high bad pitch. Josh Fields on deck. First of a 4-game set. First of a 12-game, 11-day homestand. AJ just fights that one off. As I mentioned, Bartolo Colon against Vin Mazzaro tomorrow night. So make your plans to be with us right here on Comcast Sportsnet. If you can't make it to the ballpark. Then on Wednesday, Clayton Richard against Josh Outman, 25-year-old right-hander, and that game over WCIU Channel 26. Fights that one off. And then in the finale of the series on Thursday, Mark Burley against Brett Anderson, 21-year-old left-hander. And that game right back here on Comcast Sportsnet.
This is a very young starting rotation. The league's youngest, as a matter of fact.
And shot back through the middle for a base hit. Much too good of a pitch on 0-2 right there to miss that much with a breaking ball.
Looked like he tried to throw a slider, and he certainly didn't want to throw it down the middle, but that's exactly where it wound up. Suzuki wanted this ball on the outside corner or just a touch outside. Instead, it had the whole plate. And A.J. winds up with his second hit of the night.
Josh is looking for his first. He is 0 for 3. Hung him one and got away with it.
There's been some long foul balls, and fortunately for Cameron, he hung that ball just inside enough that Josh yanked it foul.
Well, there's a guy right there who's got 4, 5, 6 years experience in the big leagues. Is not going to yank it foul.
No,
he's going to hit it hard and keep it fair.
Wait a little longer and then take it out toward left center.
The 1-1.
Josh is going to take a look at the tapes from tonight's game, and he's going to realize just how many pitches up and out of the strike zone he swung at. And he's going to have to make an adjustment because he's not able to handle the ball up there.
Well, he can, but not right now the way he's approaching it. Right. That's the perfect place to pitch him right now.
And there it is again.
So that's the third strikeout for Josh tonight.
This is the lowest of the offerings, and this is up.
So here's Brian. He's been to the plate once. He popped up to center field. Breaking ball hangs inside. Yeah, I've been exactly where Josh is right now. More than once. And it's just, again, looked like the other day, you know, he was getting back on the right track. But when your right side breaks down on you like his is right now, it's very, very difficult.
When you say, Hawk, the right side breaking down, are you talking about when you dip the shoulder and your first move is up?
Not so much that. It's just the right side collapses, and when the right hand leaves the bat like Josh's is, and he's got one hand going around, you can't turn through the ball. So what happens is your swing gets big and it gets slow. Nice block by Suzuki. Now watch this swing right here. See how this launch angle is not anywhere near it. See, when he releases, his right shoulder stops. And once it stops, that means one thing: big swing, slower back.
That's how 88 or 89 miles an hour gets by you when normally it wouldn't.
Exactly. Now, Josh, if there's ball 4 to Brian, now when Josh is swinging it that good, he can turn a 30-30 around.
Well, Suzuki out to the mound to talk with Cameron, who's got the bases loaded as the Sox threaten to break it open. And Probably going to depend on this at bat as to who comes in the 9th inning. Safe situation right now.
Jason 0 for 3, just missed one his last at bat last inning. And as always in a situation like this, first pitch of the sequence is huge. It gives that hitter more of a sense of control of the at bat. Takes it right there. I don't know if he's going to get another one that good in this sequence.
Cameron taking some time to readjust on the hill. You guys ever go with the pant legs over the shoe like that?
No.
That wasn't.
No, that was not in vogue in those days.
I did with my suits, not with my baseball uniform.
I got a good pitch hit right there and jammed himself. So now he has allowed Cameron to take control of the at bat. When that strike zone gets bigger in the mind of the hitter, the pitcher has control of the at bat. When it gets smaller, the hitter has. And that's low.
Nothing has gotten by Suzuki tonight. He's had a real good night behind the plate defensively. And on deck scored the go-ahead run after walking to lead off his inning.
Yeah, Scotty's been doing his thing in that leadoff spot. He has rejuvenated our offense. And a full count to Jason.
Well, 2 walks to lead off innings for Scott and 2 runs scored. And on a night when you get no hits, you can't ask for too much better than that.
Well, in game 1 of that Kansas City series, he scored 1 and knocked in 1. In game 2, he scored 1 and knocked in 1. Yesterday, he knocked in 1 and scored 2. And there's ball 4. And it is a 6-2 Sox lead. And here comes Pods again.
And that will change the bullpen alignment. No longer a safe situation as Kurt Young comes out. There's a young lady enjoying 70s night. One day she'll read about it. And Bobby said, "Oh, sure, now you've got a good eye. I don't get a save."
Pods started this inning off with a walk against Craig Breslow. And Pods getting ready to knock in a couple more right here. And count 2-0.
He might not have an opportunity. But you figure Cameron, who's really struggling with his control, is going to throw whatever he thinks he can get over the plate, be it a fastball or that little cutter right down the middle. And it was that little cutter right down the middle.
Two and 1 to count. Sox with 4 big runs here in the bottom of the 8th. And that just does catch the outside corner, says Cuzzy, and I don't think Pods like it.
This ball keeps drifting outside.
That's way outside.
That ball was a good 4 inches outside.
Way outside. Not even close. And that's fouled back. The Sox scored 2 in the 9th yesterday. They scored 1 in the 7th, 1 in the 8th, 2 in the 9th. They win it 5-3 on Saturday against Kansas City. Then scoring runs late in the ball game to win, which is a good sign. That's what that pitch he called on Pies a while ago will get you. Having to chase another one out there off the zone. But some damage is done. A 4 spot goes up on the board. We'll go to the 9th, leading 6-2. Got shut out yesterday 6-0, but Gordon Beckham was going to be something special. Went 3 for 4, got his average up since being called up to 467.
Well, he's struggling because that's not where he'll be later.
He's the kind of player, the higher he goes, the higher he's going to hit. And Birmingham lost 3-2. Tyler Flowers, one of the strongest men in the game of baseball, hit his 7th home run. And Lucas Harrell, Shires, so picked up his 8th victory down at Winston-Salem. But right here, big hack, no contact by Jambi, who was 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts and a walk.
Scott Linebrink on for the 19th time. He's 2-2.
Strike on Posednik. And there's a strike. So the count 1-2. Low, 2 balls, 2 strikes. And once again, a reminder tomorrow, Bartolo Colon against Vin Mazzaro, 22-year-old right-hander. Make your plans to be with us here at beautiful US Cellular Field. If you can, it'll be right here over Comcast Sportsnet. That's off the end of the bat. And on Wednesday, Clayton Richard, who has just been lights out against Josh Outman, 24-year-old right-hander, in that game over WCIU, Channel 26. And on Thursday, Mark Burley against Brett Anderson, 21-year-old southpaw, in that game right back here on Comcast Sportsnet. And after that, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it's the Cleveland Indians. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, the Tigers come in for 5.
The Cleveland Indians got some bad news. Grady Sizemore going on the disabled list, and they said they're going to further examine it and see what it looks like, but he could be lost if he has to have surgery from anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks.
He gone. Yes.
Well, that's 5 strikeouts in a row now for Sox pitching.
Well, that 8th inning by Matt Thornton was one of the most impressive you want to see. I mean, it didn't take but about 1 minute and 16 seconds.
Pretty
he
much
struck out everybody.
Pretty much he just said, here it is. I'm not going to trick you. I'm going to throw it by you. And he did.
That is 12 strikeouts for Sox pitching. Gavin Floyd, who really pitched well tonight if you're just joining him. Suzuki fouls that one back. Gavin with 7 innings, giving up what should not have been a 2-run homer in the first, but he did. 4 hits, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts. Thornton goes 1, has 3. Linebrink has pitched to third and has 1. Two down.
I thought Gavin threw real well tonight, and as has happened so many times, our bullpen has been spectacular, but with Floyd tonight, the straight change was set up perfectly. He threw some good but not great curveballs consistently, but probably this is as good a straight change as he's had in a while. And he limited this team to just 4 hits in 7 innings.
There's first pitch strike to Ryan Sweeney. Yeah, that's as good a change as we've seen Gavin have this year. And with the count 0-2.
So it's Thornton and Breslow, the pitcher of records.
And that's fouled back. The drop starting to hit the ground. And that is fouled away. But indeed, we did catch a break tonight as most of the bad weather, all of it, stayed up north of us.
Well, Hawk, when you're playing good, you want to play each and every game, and you don't want any days off. There's some times when you know the team is not going real well where you could really use a day off. Coming off that road trip with all the momentum this team has gotten, this was a game that you want to play, and you want to play now each and every one of these games against Oakland. And you want the rotation to set up perfectly for that 5-game series against the Tigers.
0-2 pitch. Just got a piece of that. Yeah, in today's marketplace, the fewer doubleheaders you can have, when you're trying to compete, when you're trying to go to postseason play, the better off you are. And now we've got as good a bullpen as there is, period. I don't care what league you want to talk about. But those doubleheaders pile up, and when you're trying to contend for the divisional championship, you can't take it easy. You got to go to that bullpen, and those doubleheaders just absolutely wear them out.
Well, especially if you're playing those doubleheaders before the rosters expand on September 1st.
Well, I'm talking about now. There's a shot. Yeah, you get those doubleheaders like we have the one on Monday. And by the way, in case you're just tuning in, that is a split doubleheader on Monday with game 1 starting at 1, game 2 starting at 7.
Well, what it does is, if your starting pitcher, especially in the first game, has a tough outing and you have to go and use your bullpen, now you're coming back in the same day with some guys that might be a little tired out from the first one, and it just stretches your staff. Well,
we got some depth. We got some depth. As I say, right now, healthy, we're as good as anybody.
Well, we also played, don't forget, we did play Seattle a doubleheader because they weren't coming back again, so we were able to get that one out of the way.
There's a strike. Darren Cunningham, who is 1 for 3 tonight, and 0-2 to count.
As a young fan, looking to see if more rain's coming. It is.
Just outside. One thing about Cunningham, you know, he's got right now a pretty big swing. He keeps his hands back nicely. Down to Josh, and this ball game is over. Sox win. Sox win 6-2.